Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where last episode we made some good progress with a nice naval invasion that actually got us a lot. So that's fantastic. We are of course working on constructing infrastructure up in this region. I don't really care that much about these land forts, but it's not slowing us down. I don't really care either about these naval bases. Again, they're not slowing us down, so it's not relevant. However, what is slowing us down a little bit is our war support. I'm not okay with this necessarily. Our war support is not doing great. So let's work on war propaganda against Brazil. That'll get us 90 war support. I like it. So let us work on that for a little while. Weekly change plus 1%. Weekly change. Okay. Noted. Hang on, let me reread that tooltip. So this would, for 90 days, weekly war support plus 1%. Okay, noted. So it's not actually 90% war score. That's actually, let's see, 4% per month for 3 months, so 12% war score. Fair enough. I thought 90% seemed a little extreme. But that's completely fine. So we have a little bit of a supply issue up here, but we're working on it. We, of course, need to construct infrastructure up here. And that is absolutely fine. One thing we might want to do is unify this front a little bit and push these guys back. Although we are apparently pushing over this way right now, and these guys are still in the process of moving up. If we look at this, it is going to actually go for this Honduras jungle province first. So I think that's reasonably fine. So we'll just push up to Pueblo and Quiche over here, and then we're going to grab this choke point with naval invasions once we can, 41 and 19. And of course, we're missing naval supremacy in the Gulf of Mexico for right now. So let's grab these guys, who are currently apparently active in some region, but we'll remove them from that region, and we will tell them to patrol in... Oops, I did that incorrectly. We're going to tell them to patrol in the Gulf of Mexico. Excellent. And we're going to tell these guys, they are... Eastern Seaboard, I think? But they're currently docked. Now, I'm not entirely sure why they're just docked. Oh, because they're not being told to patrol. Patrol Eastern Seaboard, please. You're supposed to be Newfoundland and Caribbean? Okay. But you should definitely be on patrol. Same with you. Get on patrol. On patrol. These guys, they're really, really small, so maybe they shouldn't be on patrol. At any rate, we'll see if we can get ourselves some supremacy in Gulf of Mexico for this naval invasion. We are going to need it. We're not ready to launch the invasion just yet, though, so that is fine. And, of course, we are working on our constructions. Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Honduras all building infrastructure, which is exactly what we need to supply the war effort. We are currently up to 16%, 17% war support, so that's good. Our people aren't very into this war, which is a little bit shocking, honestly. But we'll work on that over the next little while. We are pushing these guys out of here. That's great to see. Yeah, they have a fair number of troops attempting to leave. And we're just attacking them over here, but we have a logistical issue. There's no doubt about that. 65 out of 60 here, 72 out of 20 here. But as our infrastructure finishes up, this will get much, much better. So that is great to see. We do have an unassigned division. We will assign that into this army. No, we won't. That's a paratrooper. We'll assign that into this army. Okay, perfect. I keep messing that up, and I don't know why. At any rate, Inca X15 already capitulated. Inca X79 only holds this one province. So those are the last remaining vestiges of the Inca. And because we're attacking them and they're not attacking us, that means that we are making good progress on this infrastructure. Now we're going to have to continue repairing infrastructure in Honduras. That's fine, though. Not too concerned about that. We did take the victory point for Honduras, which is what gives us the ability to construct infrastructure here, of course. And we're just going to continue pushing our way up. Like, this is completely fine. The reason we're not making progress right now is 100% to do with the level of infrastructure in the region. We build the infrastructure, and we make the progress. That's the idea here. Now, Costa Rica, down here, is potentially going to be a bit of a bottleneck for us. But honestly, it'll get done before Honduras and Nicaragua are going to be bottlenecked by it. So I think it's fine. I can't help but notice we're not doing that much attacking up here, which I'm not a huge fan of, if I'm honest. Yeah, we're making some small progress here. But overall, the progress is slow, mostly because we have 18 supply available over here to their 20. Although their 20 supply is spread over all of this, and we're attacking also from this 84 supply region, so we're going to take this very, very quickly. Like, this is not going to be very long before we take this. In fact, maybe we should just order all of these lads to attack. Like, they should probably just be going right now. It seems like every time another unit gets here, the attack halts. They're currently taking attrition. I mean, we are bringing up our supply levels. We're up to 84 now. But I feel like we should just be attacking here. Although, is it because of... Ah! Yes, our organization cap. That's the issue. Okay, gotcha. So we definitely do need to get additional supplies in here. That's okay. This is, of course, Nicaragua over here, and we're going to get another level of infrastructure in just a few days. So that should go a long ways towards getting us up to our cap and allowing us to attack over here more regularly. Let's see here. Our average infrastructure in the area is 5.0. It will come up. This is all inside of the state of Nicaragua, this entire supply area. So yeah, it's purely about getting this supply up right here, right now. And because we're attacking them and they're not attacking us, that means we're making progress. Now we're damaging additional infrastructure in Honduras. That's to be expected. We're also constructing additional infrastructure in Honduras. But this infrastructure is going to be heavily damaged for a long, long time. We're not going to be able to repair it at a high enough rate. However, Nicaragua is a different story, as well as Costa Rica. We mostly only need to build in Costa Rica to provide through supply. But that'll be just fine. There's another level of infrastructure for Nicaragua, and we're now up to 106 here. Honestly, we should just be going. Like, just go. There we go. Just get in there, guys. All of you attack. We're currently winning it, and we should continue to win this. The question is, does the battle end before we arrive? That is the question here. But I want to commit to this right now. I want to take this province, and we're making good progress on that. Yeah, this is going very, very well. We're still predicting that it'll last for another 9 days. Okay, now they're starting to retreat. This is exactly what we were planning on seeing right here. Now, I don't know... This is all part of this supply zone. Okay, so this will join the same supply zone, which is problematic for us. We're going to have a difficult time pushing out of here in Honduras. But that is, of course, why we are putting in a naval invasion up here. Because we're going for this next choke point and looking to cut off their supply flow. They do have a capital here, but they have no other naval bases other than this location. So that is noted. And it looks like we have indeed taken this. We'll see what we can overrun, if anything. I'm not sure why Army Group 5 has a front line over here. I'm going to actually delete all orders for Army Group 5. This looks like this broke a little bit, and we're going to put in a front line right here, and we're going to put in an offensive line. Honestly, Whoa, that is really laggy, that zoom. Okay. With the offensive line here selected, that is really tremendously laggy. Okay. So now that I've gotten the camera where we want it to be-ish, we're going to put the offensive line right there. That's the idea. And that is going to push in along those lines. It'll have to fill in this peninsula afterwards. But go ahead and execute that. Excellent. And our naval invasions will be ready to launch in a while. I mean, this one is ready to launch, technically. How are we doing on the naval supremacy over here? There's a lot of mines over there, and we don't really have any minesweeping, so there's that. But we do have 100% naval supremacy. So that is reasonable. It looks like we've been pushed back here. This is not tremendously surprising because of the supply restrictions in this area. That said, we are making progress on those. And our supplies are looking quasi-reasonable up here right now. We're still working on Costa Rica and Nicaragua's supplies, let alone Honduras's. But if we can successfully pull off a naval invasion up here, that's going to be huge. And that's exactly what we're looking to do. I'm going to wait until both of these are ready to go at the same time. But we're just going to try to leapfrog them again. Okay, so we're currently doing reasonably okay over here. 145 out of 54. So our supply count is coming up. Our supply count is actually higher than theirs at this time. So that means that we have an attrition advantage here. So we're going to be perfectly content with continuing to fight this for right now. I'm noticing that we're still at 16% war support, despite our war propaganda against Brazil. So that's a thing. We might want to continue additional... Oh, we can only do one war propaganda campaign at a time? Okay. This would reduce our base war support and our base stability, so I don't want to do that. Improved worker conditions does give us weekly stability. Press censorship, that's not something that we really need to do. Yeah, that's really not something that we need to do. I wouldn't mind increasing our weekly stability. It's something we could theoretically do, but I think we're going to keep our war propaganda here. This war propaganda is still 1%. It just costs twice as much. Ming is in an offensive war. Okay, yeah. That's why we can do it against Ming. I would like to prefer... I would prefer to avoid, actually, doing war propaganda against Ming right now. Insufficient naval supremacy in Gulf of Mexico. Okay, I'm not sure where that fleet went. Maybe they all ran into mines. It's hard to say. There's a lot of mines over there. And we don't really have any minesweepers. One thing we might want to do is check in on our destroyers and see if we have any minesweeping going on in there. These are all submarines. Here's our destroyers. Okay, so if we make a variant of this, we've got the engine, torpedoes, radar sonar, fire control system, anti-air battery. Okay, we have minesweeping gear on our destroyers. So the question then becomes... These are destroyers in the Caribbean Sea. I would like them to be on... None of the ships in our fleet have the ability to do this. These are all older destroyers and submarines. Okay. What about these guys? Battleships, destroyers. These are older destroyers here. Yeah, these are all older destroyers. So where do we have our current destroyers at? I mean, there's 2 destroyers here. 1944 destroyer hull. Early destroyer hulls. Not great. We definitely need to do some minesweeping in the Caribbean. I think that's very clear. These guys, they have some 1936 destroyer hulls, but they also have some other destroyer hulls. I'm going to open this. I'm going to split off. Or actually, what I want to do is I want to select only these guys. I'm going to move this into a new fleet. What all did that move? Did that move everything? That kind of moved everything. These are carriers, battleships, battlecruisers, destroyers, and submarines. Okay, so these guys need to be on... They need to be on naval invasion support, which I'm not seeing for some reason. Okay. Well, these guys are on naval invasion support, right? Yeah, they are. And these guys are also on naval invasion support. But we're going to have them be on minesweeping. Okay. There we go. So now we have naval invasion support and also minesweepers. However, one thing we could theoretically do is we could grab these guys and select... These are all... These submarines can move over into, say, this fleet. I'm not sure what that did. Okay. Okay, there we go. And we're going to have this task force continue doing its patrol. Excellent. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on over here then. So this is 61 ships. We have some capital ships over there. It's kind of wasteful, of course, to have carriers minesweeping. I mostly only want these to be destroyers. So these carriers, I want to move them into this fleet. Excellent. And let's get rid of the carriers in here. I also would like to get the battle cruisers moved over, as well as the battleships, into this fleet. Destroyers. Okay, this looks good at this point. One submarine I don't care about. So now it's just destroyers up here doing the minesweeping. And we'll see how effective they are at that. We are making some progress over here, it looks like. And I also want to check our naval supremacy up here. Yeah, we're chipping through their mines. It's going to take a lot of time, though. Okay. Noted. That's a lot of mines that they've laid over there. They've mined up these coasts pretty heavily, actually. And, I mean, fair enough. That's probably what they should be doing. Let's attempt to launch these naval invasions and see what happens. We may lose them to mines. Or we may not. It's hard to say. We're up to 56 potential supply over here, now 65. Our infrastructure building is working wonderfully. So we massively outstrip their supply in this region. We should be able to push through this. That said, we are, of course, also landing up here to attempt to cut them off. And we'll see what we get out of this. Hopefully we don't hit too many mines on the way in. It'd be awkward. They have a lot of mines here. They have a whole lot of mines in this region. We have taken out almost 10% of them, though. So that is great. The real question, of course, is do we manage to get this naval invasion in? And it looks like we're going to. We're also pushing them out of this region over here. So that's great. But they've already got a level 2 naval base here. Okay, they have some people manning that naval base. Noted. We're going to be able to take this location, which of course does have a victory point. We're losing this invasion, however. Bam. Okay. So we got these guys in here. Their goal is to spearhead a corridor like that. That's their goal. And they're going to execute that. They should definitely execute it. Okay. In the meantime, we're going to begin construction of naval dockyards, naval bases here. There are none currently. We do have a victory point. We're going to start working on infrastructure as well. And we'll also start working on land forts here. We'll see if they're going to pull back and fight us here. They probably will. And if they do, that's great. I'd love it if these guys would land here. I don't think they will, though. They're just probably going to go home when they fail this attack. Yep, that's exactly what they're doing. That's fine. So we're trying to cut off the supply flow down this way, is what we're trying to do. Now, our supply flow here is pretty garbage. We have literally one supply. So I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up losing this force. These naval invasions are very high risk, but we don't exactly care. We're going to move that guy in. Oh, we have other unassigned divisions? Okay. We're going to move them in as well. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So we're winning this battle, but we expect them to reinforce here. Again, I don't really expect too much out of this landing currently. How are we doing on these mines? We'll have to look in this mode. Okay, we're definitely working on sweeping them out. Okay, we're going to have this guy swap over to carefully execute his plans. In fact, we can pull back. I mean, if he wants to do that, that's okay. We are working on, of course, constructing naval bases here and getting ourselves some supplies into this. But I don't expect that we're going to keep this toehold. These guys are on their way back, and we're going to tell them to start planning a naval invasion. From here, once again, straight up to here. Like, continue with this naval invasion. That is the goal. Excellent. Now they're going to probably continue defending this. And that's okay. They can do that. But the more troops that they have back here, the fewer troops they have on this front. That is the primary thing here. And sure, they're likely to attack us over here. The question is, do we have time to construct a single naval base here? If we do, great. If we don't, oh well. It's not the end of the world. We're working on infrastructure because we have the victory point as well. I mean, if they let us do this, then they deserve to lose, honestly. Of course, in the meantime, we are working on getting this minefield swept out. Yeah, they're attacking us now. As well they should. This is what they definitely should have been doing. But it's fine. I don't care. They can do that. Yeah, we're stack wiped. I don't care. The entire point was to free us up to be able to do this. And maybe we don't get this. But once again, it's fine. This is 100% okay. That was always a sacrificial army. With any luck, we'll be able to push up through here. But mostly, at this point, we're just working on bolstering our infrastructure here. And it is getting much, much better. We have a few more armies that can be assigned over here. And so we shall. Excellent. And we are pushing in over here. It looks like we're going to actually get it. These guys, oh, they did move 3 units of reinforcement in, and that restarted our movement. Sad. Okay, so we're not quite going to get it, but we're making good progress over here. Now that our infrastructure is catching up in this region, we should be able to attrition our way through that, especially if we keep distracting them with naval invasions over this way. One thing we could think about doing is naval invading Chickasaw up here and starting another front. It's definitely something we could think about. But our supplies are getting much better over here. If we fail this naval invasion a second time, I'll probably start thinking about coming up here and attacking, like, Louisiana, Alabama area. For now, though, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue adding North America to our continent collection. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.